Since first launched in 2002, the Chinese bridge competitions have been successfully held for 19 editions, attracting over 1.4 million young foreign students from around the world to demonstrate and showcase their Chinese language skills and knowledges about the culture and history of China. Today, we're honored to be joined by the newly launched world champion of the 19th Chinese Bridge Chinese Proficiency Competition for foreign college students, Mr. Lucas Deckers. He's from Belgium and is currently studying Chinese and philosophy in Chongqing Normal University under a government scholarship program. Hello, Lucas. Welcome to the studio.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
So I wanted to ask you a few questions about yourself and your participation in the Chinese Bridge competition. But first, congratulations on winning your global championship.
Thank you.
I believe the results were announced like last week, right?
Yes,
So how
last
did
week.
you so how did you feel when you first found about the news?
It was it was strange because I was at home because the competition was online. So when I won, the moment I won, I was just in my room by myself, and I couldn't really like congratulate, or like celebrate. So I needed some time to realize that I won, and then afterwards, like a day after, I could celebrate with my family, and then it only hit me. But right away, it was kind of weird because I was just in my room by myself.
But I see you have a pretty good track record of winning the preliminary rounds, the national round, and later the continental semifinals before entering the global final. So is it really that kind of a surprise to you, or have you just maybe kind of thought about this would happen?
It was a surprise, like at first, but when the competition started, I thought I had a pretty good chance because I started participating in like September, but it was very sudden. My teacher suddenly told me like I could participate, and I didn't expect it, so that was a surprise. But then once I was in like the first round and then the semifinals, I felt like I had a good chance to win. Yeah.
So I noticed that you've been stuck in Belgium for the better part of this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and you and the other participants were all participating in this year's Chinese bridge competition virtually. Has that become any kind of a barrier or inconvenience to you?
It was a small inconvenience, like some internet problems, like connection errors, some people that we had to wait for, but that's only normal, I think, when you do it online. Actually, it was a good opportunity, I think, because everyone is at home, right? And I think doing the competition online is better than not doing it at all. So everyone had the chance to participate and prepare and I mean, I was at home because of the epidemic all the time. So I was really happy that I could participate and had this experience rather than just being at home and doing nothing. So, yeah, it was a really good thing that the competition started in this period of time because otherwise I would be at home and have no motivation to study or anything.
I'm assuming that you have to juggle your study curriculum and the competition at the same time. So how did you balance
Yeah.
your study life and the competition so well?
Well,
Have you received
the,
any help from your teachers and classmates back in Chongqing?
Mostly the Chinese bridge competition had a teacher who helped me, and then my Chinese girlfriend also helped me a lot. But yeah, Chongqing Normal University was just really kind in that they gave me time to prepare the competition. So I didn't go to classes for a week, and like I applied for a leave, right, with the teachers, and they were really kind. They understood that I was participating, and they were cheering for me. So I didn't have to really think about my other classes while I was preparing for the finals, which is a really good thing because then it would be too much. So they just cheered for me and gave me proper time to prepare. Yeah.
So even though you are in this game alone in Belgium, but your friends and classmates are all in this together with you.
Yeah, they definitely were. Yeah.
So I noticed you studied sinology at Leuven University in Belgium. What made you wanted to study Chinese in the first place?
That's a good question that a lot of people ask me. But I'm not so sure. When I was 18, I just chose this, well, it's sinology or Chinese studies, but I didn't really know a lot about China or the language. I didn't even know that Chinese had tones. So I just chose it like a bit random, but also because I wanted to go out and see the world and I liked languages. So I thought I should pick a very hard language that comes from far away, and then I can go far away to China to study there. So that was what attracted me. And then I started it, and like suddenly I started to like everything about Chinese culture, and my passion for China grew really fast.
You hear that a lot, especially foreigners from Western countries. They often complain about how Chinese is one of the most difficult languages to learn. So, what's your impression and experience of studying Chinese? I mean, is it really that difficult?
It is not if you do it every day. So the start when I started studying, it was really quite easy because I was doing it every day at the university level. So like for one semester, we were doing Chinese every day. I was speaking, reading, writing every day. So I had like a really big improvement in a small amount of time. But now it gets harder. Now that I'm at a pretty advanced level or intermediate, and now it is very hard to go even beyond this because now I don't need to think about grammar or vocabulary. Now I need to think about like cultural stuff and like old Chinese, like classical Chinese writings. Um, so it's harder because I need more cultural background rather than just learning a lot of vocabulary.
So, what advices would you give to other foreigners out there struggling with the Oriental language?
uh, Go to China. I noticed like last year when I was in China, my just my speaking in Chinese was better than it was like a few months ago. Obviously now because of the Chinese bridge competition, I got to improve a bit again. But uh, being in Belgium a long time because of the epidemic made it hard to practice every day, even though I have classes and stuff. I still feel like living in China, it goes so fast. If you are not hanging out with foreigners, of course, you have to make Chinese friends. So that would be the best thing. And then I don't know, try to speak a lot. I'm someone that likes to speak a lot. So during classes, I will speak up and I will give my opinion, which means I practice a lot my speaking. Yeah,
You mentioned in your Bilibili video that you love traveling, that you wanted to see the world. You are only 22 years old, right? And
yeah.
yet you have been traveling in three countries. How did you manage to balance your study life and travel plans so well? You gotta tell me the secrets.
Well, now it's 25. So I did two others this summer, but um, I don't know. My parents took me for travel a lot when I was young, so I already have done a lot of countries when I was younger. I was really lucky because I live in Europe in the center, so it's a 1 hour drive to another country. In 1 hour, I can reach the Netherlands or France. So that way, I can visit a lot of countries. But then the last 3 years was mainly traveling by myself or with friends, and meanwhile, I was studying. Yeah, this was really um, well hard to balance, but I didn't like I always study for like a short amount of time, like very I only do studying and then I will go travel so I don't have to care about studies and other stuff. um, so basically it's not mixed, I'm not studying and traveling at the same time. I am first studying and then traveling, or I'm first working. Like I worked in Belgium for 6 months as a job student every weekend to make money, and then in summer I would go travel for 2 months with this money. Yeah, that's how I would do it. So but the fact that it's so many countries is just because I had like a childhood where I could travel a lot. And yeah, I'm in Europe, so I can really leave, go to other countries very fast.
To some people, traveling isn't necessarily that of a happy experience. It could be rather exhausting if you know what I mean. So I have
Yeah.
to admit, most days off work, I just want to lie down, relax, spend some free time with myself. So how do you convince people like me to go out there and explore the world?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. By making videos like I do, I want to. yeah, I just want to tell everyone to go out because I also need my days where I rest and at home. But after a while, I have this need to go out. Like I have had this whole epidemic, and I don't know if some people like you maybe don't have this, but when I see pictures of like beautiful landscapes or something online, I feel like I want to go. So I think I think I don't know. I thought everyone would be convinced by seeing like beautiful pictures of other places, but obviously the most important thing is I think meeting other people and having these really good experiences, like going to another country and then talking with some people, even though maybe you won't be friends for like many years. Like this small piece of time where you talked with them can be very rewarding. In like you can learn things about them and about yourself, and I think once you've experienced a few of these moments, you naturally want to find more of these opportunities to learn more. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. You know, in China, we actually have an old saying that knowledge from books is not as good as knowledge from the world. So, what would you
Exactly.
say is the best part about the most appealing part to you about travel? What have you learned from your past travel experiences?
So many things. I've changed completely in the last 3 years. Also because I started doing Chinese and I started looking at the world more. But yeah, most things I learned was like that I'm a very lucky person because I have a really good family. Like I had the opportunity to study, to work. I had the opportunity to travel, so I'm more appreciative of my own life. Like I appreciate what I have more because I went out and saw what other people don't have. That's a big point. Like I started to appreciate my life more, which is really important because I don't want to be spoiled, right? Um, you need to be aware of what you have, and that's what I the first big thing I realized. And then other things is, as I said, that you can make friends anywhere. Before I used to think that I can only make friends with people of my age, like students in Belgium who are quite the same as me. But now I went out and I made friends with like people who are 10 years older than me, who are working while I'm a student. Some people are doing different things. Like they have such a different world where they live in as to my world. Like my world is so different, but we can still make friends. And before I didn't think that was possible. I thought I needed to have like the people need to stay in their own like kind of bubble. But now I realize you can make friends with anyone, and that's such a beautiful thing.
Okay, so your channel on Bilibili is gradually gaining influence now. Do you have anything else you want to say to your fans, Chinese fans, especially those on Bilibili? You can speak
Uh,
in Chinese if you want.
I'm just very grateful. 我就是很感谢我现在有的粉丝，因为我还没有参加汉语桥的时候，他们就已经在看我的视频什么的，评论啊什么的。然后每一次看到评论，我就很开心。所以真的非常感谢那些最开始的时候已经在我身边的粉丝。嗯，现在可能会涨粉，或者我不知道现在会发展的怎么样。看看未来嘛。但是我就已经很满意，有那么多粉丝，有1万多个粉丝，从我的开头就已经关注我，而不只是因为我参加了汉语桥。Yeah.
Okay, so one last question. Are you the epidemic is currently still not under control globally yet? So what's the current situation in your country, Belgium, right now? Like, are you coming back to Chongqing anytime soon?
I'm waiting for it. I've been waiting for it for almost a year. In January, I left Chongqing, and I've been wanting to go back ever since. But now, epidemic is not so good in Belgium. We are like in the second wave. You know, we had the first peak, and now there's a second peak. So we're like in lockdown again, and we cannot go out. For restaurants are closed, stuff like that. But we're slowly getting better. So I hope in January we will be back to like very little infections every day. And I hope to return to China as soon as possible. But I'm guessing it won't be before February, and it maybe won't even be before summer. It all depends on what happens and if China will open its borders to foreign students. But one thing is sure, when China opens, I will immediately go there. So yeah, because I can't
Um,
wait.
I'm sure everything will be okay. So, thanks for accepting this video interview with iChongqing. Um, that's basically everything I have to say. Do you have anything
It
else
was
you want to add?
it was my pleasure to be here and do an interview in English. Actually, that's surprising, but I liked it. So thank you.